I get calls from people all the time, something to the degree of, hey Kevin, I'm looking to relocate from the Greater Toronto area. You haven't made a video on that. Could you please do so? Well, in this video, we're gonna be answering that question. We're gonna be comparing Mississauga, Ontario versus Kitchener-Waterloo. We're gonna be going through the following 10 categories on the screen, giving them both a point for each category. Let's get right into the video. First off here, the climate and weather, and both of these cities here, frankly, don't have the nicest weather in the world, but that's just Canada. In this category, Mississauga definitely will take the point, and I'll tell you why. There's less snow. That's definitely the biggest difference between the two. In terms of temperature, yeah, Mississauga in the wintertime is gonna be a little bit warmer. You won't dip below freezing as much as you will in Kitchener or Waterloo, but definitely that snow is gonna make the difference, and I've seen it firsthand going from Kitchener to Mississauga. In the wintertime, you will see that in fact, the grass is there. You'll be able to see the grass, and in Kitchener, it's full of snow. Moving on to the second category here, and it's the cost of living. And in most categories, I would say groceries, utilities, etc., it's pretty fairly even. I think restaurants a little bit more expensive, but then of course you do have rent, which is 20% less in Kitchener and Waterloo than it is in Mississauga, and of course real estate prices. Moving on to the next category here, which is of course real estate, a specialty of mine. So let's make this into a bit of a game. I will describe a property that's sold in Mississauga within the last 30 days, and you guys give me the price. This house right here sold in Mississauga had 27-foot frontage, nearly 2,700 square feet above grade, 4 bedrooms above grade, 2 below grade for a total of 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, double car garage, built in the 1980s, 1990s. Lock in your answers now. Nearly $1.65 million. Now let's look at a property very similar to the one that sold in Mississauga. This one though on a larger lot, being 45 foot at the front, 2,700 square feet approximately above grade, 4 bedrooms above grade, 1 below grade, 4 bathrooms in total, and a double car garage. Lock in your answers yet again. This one sold for $1.1 million. So if you're looking to save over $500,000 moving from the GTA, you can certainly book a call with me in the first link in the description, or call, text, or email. Now looking at the next category here, let's look at the economy and job market, and this one was a bit tough. It's a bit subjective, but I think I'll still have to give the point slightly here to Mississauga. The reason being is Mississauga does have slightly higher incomes than you'd find here in Kitchener, especially. Kitchener's around $104,000 for the average household income. Waterloo is around $127,000, and Mississauga is just over $128,000. Now education, this plays a major role for any family moving anywhere. Is what are the educational institutions like? When it comes to grade school and high school, plenty of great options in both cities, but I think the largest factor here is the universities and the quality of universities. And I think in this category in particular, we're gonna have to give the point to Kitchener-Waterloo. Waterloo has 2 world-renowned universities in Wilfrid Laurier University and the University of Waterloo, one being geared very much towards IT and engineering and mathematics, and the other one well known for its business school. In addition to that, in the city of Kitchener, we do have one of the largest colleges within Canada, that being Conestoga College. So in this category, we'll give the point to Kitchener-Waterloo. Now healthcare. Now this is something that Kitchener-Waterloo kind of in fact lacks, and it's the Achilles heel of these two cities, is the lack of hospitals for the amount of people that we have. Mississauga is definitely better well served. In Kitchener and Waterloo, we only have 2 hospitals here. We have St. Mary's General Hospital being the smaller one, and then the main one being Grand River Hospital. So in this category, we'll give the point to Mississauga. Now I hear that Mississauga is one of the most boring cities. It's unfascinating, and you know, it's not Toronto. I understand, you're right beside it. You can always go there if you are, you know, looking to watch a major sports event. But Mississauga itself, I don't really think it's that bad of a city, or unfun, or boring in any sort of the imagination, and it's what you really make of it at the end of the day. But I think the difference between these two cities is definitely the fact that Mississauga does have the benefit of being on Lake Ontario, so you do have a great water activities that you can enjoy, right? There's Port Credit is absolutely absolutely beautiful if you want to take your family there and enjoy the cute little boutique shops that they have there. Or if you want to, to have a beer right by the lake, you certainly can. They have the waterfront trail, Arundel Park, Korea Park. Square One has fantastic shopping options. And in Kitchener, you have Huron Natural Area, you have Dune Heritage Park, you have Victoria Park, you have Waterloo Park, Laurel Creek Reservoir, Kitchener Rangers if you fancy a little bit of hockey, Center in the Square, and of course you have Oktoberfest. The one in Kitchener is the largest Oktoberfest hosted outside of Germany, but I still think Mississauga is more of a fun city. Now, if you watch the news, it can seem that the world is an unsafe place. Well, Kitchener, Waterloo, and Mississauga are definitely safe. This isn't Ciudad de Juarez in Mexico or Acapulco. These are two pretty safe cities for the most part. Yes, there has been some crime that has increased in both cities, especially car theft. In this case, if we look at Nubio.com, Kitchener is a safer city than Mississauga, so in this case, we'll give the point to Kitchener. Number 9 here is transportation, and this one is a no-brainer, no contest whatsoever. Kitchener-Waterloo is so easy to navigate. It's fast, it's efficient, it's easy to go from both cities. It's easy to get to Mississauga. It's easy to get west to go towards London. Within the two cities itself, it's fairly quick. Reason being, it has the lowest congestion level in Canada. Mississauga is not quite the same. You're definitely going to encounter a lot more traffic. And then, of course, the second part being, what is a public transportation like? Kitchener does have a light rail transit system. Mississauga does not. There is one in talks coming up. I believe that's going to be between Mississauga and Brampton. Having a city of 750,000 people and not having a light rail transit system, it just doesn't really make any sense. Why Mississauga hasn't implemented this and why it's not built. The one in Kitchener and Waterloo has been in service since 2019, and I think we're really well served in this particular area when it comes to transportation. Now, finally, if I had to place a bet on Kitchener-Waterloo versus Mississauga, I think I'd go with Kitchener-Waterloo. Reason being is, yes, you're saving money on the real estate costs, definitely $500,000 in some cases. You do have a great option of universities, great options when it comes to grade school and high school. And I think going forward in the future, definitely your money's gonna go farther here. And I think in general, it's just a greater place to live. I think Mississauga, that traffic really takes a toll on people. There's something about Mississauga. It almost seems like every subdivision has been printed out. It's just block after block after block of 1980s, 90s builds, double car detached homes, and you do have a lot of condo buildings near Square One, and that's pretty much Mississauga, other than Port Credit, which is nice. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like button and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.